think that's a lot of I think that's a lot of inspiration to like our viewers or anybody who's out there trying to figure out what it is they want to do and how they're supposed to get all of this stuff done that they want to do. That as long as there's that element of fun still in there and you're enjoying what you're doing, then the hard work is just kind of what comes with it.
Yep.
And
I still love making beer.
I mean, it's tiramisu. This is like purposely why like I live a stout life so I can have tiramisu stout.
Yeah.
I mean,
Welcome to Stout Conversations, where every week we sit down with creative thinkers in the craft beer industry and beyond. Your hosts, Ken and April, live and work in a 24-foot RV, traveling the country in search of great stories around a great beer. Green Bus Brewing, located in downtown Huntsville, focuses on staying small, keeping the creativity and community vibe going strong in this small town brewery. Started from a passion for both beer and VW buses, Jason, co-owner and head brewer, has rocketed his way into the Huntsville beer scene, creating a unique space that serves great beer.
so I'm going to just state this right out of the gate. We're going to talk green buses
All right.
because it's obviously because it's Green Bus Brewing.
Absolutely.
And I have to talk about purple cups too.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure you know what that means, but I got to figure out what that means. So
What's going on with the purple cups?
Yeah, but that's not how you want to start it though.
No, it is how I want
Oh,
to
that's
start
how you
it.
want to start it?
Yeah, because now people are like, what the hell's up with the purple cup?
Okay.
Am I watching? But we got green buses, so that's what's mattering.
Okay, so what's up with the purple cup?
So in Alabama, a few years back, the state passed a law that allows cities to designate entertainment districts. And in an entertainment district, you're allowed to walk around with an open container of alcohol, provided it was purchased at a retail establishment within the entertainment district, and it is served in a purple solo cup. Purple was the color of choice because they're not as easy to find as a red solo cup. Now the cup's also supposed to be marked with either the name of the entertainment district or the name of the business that you got it from. I don't know how strictly that's enforced, but we try to put some green bus stickers on ours just so we're making sure we're following the rules and everything. But it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, okay. So it's specific days of the week.
Specific days of the week right now.
Specific times too. Like
Specific times, yeah. Thursday, I think it starts at 4. The weekends, it starts at noon, goes to 11, 12 o'clock at night. So it's just to kind of encourage the kind of the live, work, play atmosphere we're trying to develop in downtown Huntsville. So if you're somewhere and you want to go to the park over by the Civic Center here, you can take your beer with you.
Well, now that we have the purple cup cleared up, I'd like to learn more about the green bus. Especially like this flight is like beautiful. The
So,
mystery-
so one of our regulars,
We're at Green Bus Brewing in Huntsville, Alabama, by the way. That's what we're talking about.
I'm
Huntsville.
talking to.
Jason.
Jason Sled, yep.
Jason Sled, the owner.
Owner and brewer.
Head brewer, assistant brewer, and all-around brewer.
So yeah, these were made by one of our regulars. She and her husband do a little woodworking on the side. I think he cut them out and she decorated them. They're all different. We got 7 or 8 of them down there. So
Are they all vans like this?
they're all buses.
So
yep.
it's all buses like
Yep.
the VW
You got it.
VW style bus. This one's kind of a Scooby-Doo-ish kind of mystery
It's the mystery
machine.
machine. It's not Scooby Doo ish.
It
It
is.
is.
Hey, we don't want any lawsuits or copyright infringement. Just saying.
So yeah, that's where those come from. The brewery was named after my 1972 Volkswagen bus. It was green, so I started out as a home brewer and gave my home brewery a name after the bus in the driveway. I've been a Volkswagen fan a lot longer than I've been a beer fan. Longer than I was, legally allowed to drink beer. So I think I got my first bus summer after I graduated high school, and I think I've had 4 or 5 over the years, and probably 3 or 4 Beetles here and there too.
So when you brewed at home, did you kind of started a little bit of a brewery in your garage kind of thing, like
Yeah.
for friends and family and stuff, and that was where the green bus came from instead of Jason's garage brew?
The Sled House of Brews didn't have quite the ring of it. Not quite as original. But yeah, somebody had asked me once. So Huntsville's got a great home brewing community. Rocket City Brewers has been around since the late 80s. They used to call themselves the Madison Sobriety Society. And interestingly enough, only until about 4 or 5 years ago, home brewing was still illegal in Alabama.
That's right.
So it was kind of home brewing was around, but it was kind of not talked about too much, especially in Huntsville, where a lot of people are were working under government security clearances with the Army and with NASA and everything and all that. And at the time, if you got caught home brewing, you could be charged with a felony. The Right to Brew movement started several years ago, growing out of Rocket City Brewers and other homebrew clubs around the state, and started making the effort to get it legalized. About 5 years worth of work working on the legislature. The first year they introduced the bill that got the Shroud Award, which was given to the bill that had absolutely no chance of surviving whatsoever.
But it made it.
But it made it. It took a few years, but it made it. So anyways, I got
So
hooked up.
that's why the name was Sobriety Society, was to kind of
That was well before my time. I don't know the exact history on that.
Throw the feds off.
But it was yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, exactly.
Rocket City Brewers was the birthplace of a lot of the breweries here in Huntsville. Us, Straight to Ale, are both the two that can tie directly to membership in RCB. And that community kind of helped me learn how to make beer and taught me a lot of things to do, not to do, helped me figure out what was going on, and just fell in love with the process and everything. A buddy of mine who'd been brewing off and on for 15 years was home for Christmas one time. He was like, "Joe, come show me how to make beer. I think I'm going to make beer." And he kind of got me started. I started in the kitchen, and it quickly ramped up to electric brew house in the garage. I named my home brewery Green Bus Brewing. I had a 72 Volkswagen bus. It was green. So I did that and made a little Facebook page just to kind of track my home brewing stuff. And guys Straight to Ale started giving me a hard time. Like, "Oh, you're thinking about going to the next level, aren't you?" I was like, no, not going to do that. And then I asked Dan one time, like, "All right, Dan." Well, his advice at first was, "Don't do it. It'll ruin the hobby. You won't ever get to make beer. You'll regret it." And I asked him once, "All right, well, what if I did want to do something more? At what level could I do it and still enjoy it?" He's like, "You need a small brewery with a tap room. Don't distribute. It's like, you're not going to get filthy rich or nothing, but you'll make enough money to keep the doors open. You'll get to brew. You still get to enjoy it." And then I met my business partner Carrie through Rocket City Brewers as well, and then we started kicking around the idea of doing something a little more. We knew we didn't want to do a full production brewery, but a small brewery with a tap room was right up our alley, and we eventually found the right group of people to pull our resources together and make it happen.
So you said you were friends with Dan over at Straight to Ale,
Yes.
and that is full on. I mean, they have a great tap room, but they're also a full on production brewery.
Oh, yes.
Which that means you're distributed like everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they're trying
They're all
to
over
get
the southeast.
They're trying to get on store shelves, and they're competing with the Oscar Blues and Sam Adams and trying to get shelf space. So what made you decide that you wanted to just be a small tap room where you do you distribute at all, even kegs or anything?
We have a distributor. We need one for going like to the local beer fest every summer. The beer still has to go to distributor before the beer fest can buy it. And then we send out a keg every now and then to local beer stores, especially if they've done us a favor or something. But that's more of a marketing ploy than anything else, just to remind folks that might be coming through, "Oh yeah, that Green Bus Brewery downtown, I got to go check them out." And it's worked. We sent a keg of our Hot Bus IPA to the local beer store, and they said they ran through it like crazy. And the guy came back in and it's like, "Where do I get more of that?" And I said, "Downtown." And he came right over.
Well, that's probably a good way to do it because, geeks like us, we go to maybe a tap house somewhere that's just a bunch of different brewers that are on tap, and we see Green Bus, and we're like, "What? Never heard of that one. Where do I get this?"
Tell me more about this
You
one.
try it.
And then
we
find out
to
it's like
try
right
it
around the
ourselves.
corner or something, or even just an
Then we
hour
come
away.
down
We
around
might
the corner.
actually come, to that.
So we do have a distributor, but distributing is not part of our business model.
So what made you decide to go this route, where you wanted to stay on the smaller side? I assume you don't have plans to really branch out that much.
The only pencil on the back of a napkin plan for growth, if we ever decide to do it, would be open another small brewery with a tap room. Green Bus Birmingham or Green Bus Decatur, another fully independent location making their beer and cider and mead on site as well. We honestly just didn't want to run a big production facility. It takes a lot more capital up front. and you end up becoming a business owner instead of a brewer. Now I wanted to keep making beer. I had 6 taps and my keys are at home. And I would invite friends over to empty kegs because I had another style that I wanted to make.
I need to empty this one.
I got another beer I want to try to make. We gotta get some of this beer out
Yeah,
here.
or
so
kill the
can
keg
make more.
night at your house.
Just about. Yeah. There's stories there, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, we probably don't want any proof of that or any admittance of guilt.
So you talk about like being a brewer versus a business owner. You still work a full-time job as
I do.
well?
Carrie and I both have day jobs, so to
Okay.
speak. I am a pricing analyst at a defense contractor here in town, so I sit behind a computer all day and come make beer on nights and weekends. Carrie is a IT guy for a construction company down in Montgomery. He's fortunate enough that most of his job can be done via telecommuting, so he actually sits here in the office during the day and uses our internet to do his day job, and then in the evenings he can work on the books and everything. He kind of manages the business side, I manage the brewing side, and we have a bar manager that makes sure everything stays nice and smooth downstairs.
And I suppose like if you're keeping it on kind of a home brewer-ish on steroids kind of level, then it's still kind of like a hobby for you when you come
It
here,
is.
and it's still a
It
lot of
is.
fun instead of like going to another day job.
Exactly. I still love making beer. We're on batch number 296 as of today. I'm not tired of making beer, and that's in about 2.5 years of brewing. So yeah.
Do you see it as something you'll do full time eventually, or
I don't
or
know.
is
It's
that-
it's a
You're
little
not even worried
daunting
about it?
to think about that. We've still got about 3.5 years on our lease, so I don't think we have to make any real decisions till then. We'll get to the end of the lease and see what the landlord wants to do and see what we want to do, and we'll kind of go from there.
see where Huntsville goes, I guess,
Yeah.
too, because this is, this downtown area is kind of up and coming still.
It is.
It's like you can see by walking around that there's a lot of really nice restaurants and cool bar scene and like a lot of entertainment that's just starting to build, and you
Yep.
can see a lot of spaces where people are working to build more.
Yeah, and there's a lot more, more upscale apartment type buildings going up too. So there's more people moving to downtown as well, which is great for the foot traffic for us and the entertainment district, and all that plays together. And we've got another local brewery, Rocket Republic, is opening a little satellite brewery just down the road from us, which we're all for. The more beer drinkers coming downtown, the better it is for everyone.
Because they're actually in the next town over.
Yeah,
right?
they're in Madison.
Madison. Okay.
But there's what 10, 11 breweries
Yeah, I
think
think
in
we're
this
up to 11 now.
area in
Including
a
brew
population
pubs and
kind of
breweries.
area of like right around 200,000.
200 to 250, I think, in the
think it's-
metropolitan area. So yeah, we're the per capita ratio there with breweries for residents is pretty good.
It's pretty high up
Yeah,
there.
Huntsville's turned out to be a pretty stacked beer town.
And
But then when you want to be the neighborhood bar kind of brewery, you don't have to worry about just killing it, right? I mean,
True. I mean, we don't, and plus, I think it also kind of helps with our relationship with the other breweries. We're not fighting for the same tap space that they're, campaigning for at the local establishments and everything. And again, we can help bring people downtown. Other bars that are in beer places that are bringing downtown can help us. So it's kind of a nice little synergy going on there.
which you get us geeks that go from brewery to brewery to brewery and like
well,
want
the
to
beercation
hit them all.
thing.
And,
The beercation thing now too
yeah,
is
the
a
beercation's a thing now.
big thing.
It is. It is.
But I'm the one who said it a million times. Like the craft beer community is such a community. Everyone's so
Absolutely.
willing to collaborate, and you see so much more of that versus competition. Like,
Yeah.
why would you compete? You're working together, and everybody has so many different ideas and things they can craft. It's different everywhere you go.
Yep.
That's the joy of it. Speaking of,
Speaking of,
what
we got some beer
beautiful
here.
things do we have here?
So on the end we have our dark Czech lager,
Which I also have
which
here.
is
Which
also
is
being taken care of right
Great
there.
lager. Yeah, which a lot of people would think lager and they don't think nice dark beer. This is a really, really good dark
We
beer.
still occasionally get the man off the street who doesn't know much about craft beer and goes, "Give me a lager," or something like that. That's the only lager I got. I know that's not what you mean, but you said lager. And
So this would be somewhat akin to almost like a Schwarzbier, right?
A little bit,
A
yeah.
little bit.
It's
Not
in
quite
the same
full-on
family
Schwarzbier.
as a Pilsner, but it's got some dark floor malted Bohemian malt in it, along with the floor malted Bohemian Pilsner. So it's going to be on the lighter side of the dark beers. It's still going to have the same Pilsner yeast and everything. So next up, we got our best seller. This is Hop Bus. I call it a New England-inspired IPA. It gets lots of early dry hopping in the fermenting process, and a good dose of dry hopping as well at the end. But I don't think it's quite in the New England category, but it's a nice citrusy IPA.
Okay, I'm an expert. I'll tell you. No, I'm
Right.
not. So far, no.
So
But,
maybe a little bit more of an unfiltered.
Yeah,
So it picks up a lot of haze, but isn't.
it does pick up
Overly
some
juicy.
juice,
Explain
but
that, yeah.
it's still got a good hop bite to it, and it's nice and citrusy. That's easily our most popular beer, hands down.
Well, I can tell you right now, her most popular beer right here is probably going to be this one because I'm pretty sure I know which one it is. But
This
I'll
is
let you tell us.
the tiramisu milk stout.
Yes.
Everybody on
Chocolate.
camera was just like,
Two of her favorites, milk stout and tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
Yeah. So this was actually the last beer I brewed at home with the goal of crafting a chocolate coffee milk stout for sale here.
Okay.
So that one has been a hit from day one. Slows down a little bit in the summer, as stouts tend to do,
Right.
but it's generally on tap year round. Hot Bus and tiramisu are on tap all the time,
Okay.
unless we get behind and run out.
Right.
but I mean, it's tiramisu. This is like purposely why I live a stout life, so I can have tiramisu stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's truly like your dessert beer. Right?
I can't drink
You
it
go
yet
out and
because
you have a nice dinner across the street, here, and then come across and have dessert here. You have tiramisu at Green
Absolutely.
Bus. And what's
And
this
on the
last
end,
one?
I've got my latest beer I made. It's just a pale ale with what it's got Amarillo and Cascade and a little bit of Simcoe in it.
So pretty citrusy, probably.
Yeah, a little on the citrusy side. Just a nice hop flavor without smacking you over the head like an IPA can tend to do. This is it's the first time I've made it. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. And that's another reason why we didn't want to go full production brewery, because I got room for 12 beers downstairs. I've got 5 or 6 beers I try to keep on all the time, and then I've got 6 more taps I can play with, so I can try to make something different. Some of our seasonal stuff that's done really well is we do an Earl Grey mild, English mild brown ale with Earl Grey tea added to it. It's delicious and it's always popular every time I make it. We do a hibiscus pale ale in the springtime as well. A nice lighter pale ale, which is nice and pink and a little bit of tartness to it. So those are some of the ones that are a little different. It's easier for me to do on a rotating basis because I don't have a huge production schedule to keep up with. Yeah, we're 2.5 years old. September 1st was 2 years. So that's September 1st, 2016 is when we opened. We spent the previous 13 months renovating this building.
Okay.
Building was in bad shape when we got it. We completely gutted it.
But this isn't just like a building that's in bad shape. The reason this is a building in bad shape is this is like a 150-year-old building.
It is.
Right?
It's
This
a
is
little,
a historic.
a little over 150 years old. It is in one of our historic districts in town. The only effect that really had on us was anything we change on the appearance on the outside has to get approved by the Historical Preservation Society here in town. But inside we were wide open. The only restrictions, of course, were modern building codes. So we completely gutted the inside of the building and rebuilt it from the basement up. So it's got all new structure inside, new plumbing, new electrical. So it's ready to go for another 150 years.
Oh, man.
It's a beautiful space, and I love the green light and and the old brick, and it's definitely.
We had to scrape all the plaster off the bricks, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah,
I bet.
very dusty.
Yeah. Did you do a lot of the work yourselves?
We did probably 90% of it ourselves. Like I said, my partner works for a construction company, and they were nice enough to allow us to pull the permits under their general contracting license and kind of let us be the subcontractor, so to speak. So that was part of what made doing it cost effective for us, is we got in here and did a good work, did the work ourselves. It's also why it took 13 months.
Yeah. Well, I think that's common as you talk to small brewers. It's like you have, to make it work. It's like any mom and pop shop. You have to do a lot of it yourself, a lot of the footwork, a lot of the labor.
But you can feel and see
something
that
there.
pride with that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what I was
you gotta look around sometimes and just go, oh, this is pretty cool.
It's a little surreal sometimes. Yeah,
That's what I was asking. I'm glad you just said that,
Yeah.
because I was asking how long this has been. But when you're talking about this is what I made, like I can see your eyes just kind of still light up. And so I was just going to ask if you still feel kind of like that. Wow, I'm actually doing this feeling.
Yeah, sometimes I have to pinch myself. Yeah, it's when we were in the thick of demoing the inside and getting ready to rebuild. It was just like every day you come down here and do something. I was like, it felt like this is never going to end. But slowly but surely we got there. And it was also the realization that okay, we're going to get all this work done, and then the real work's going to begin. Because then you got to keep making beer and all that. There's no stopping, which is a good thing. We like doing what we do.
I think that's a lot of inspiration to like our viewers or anybody who's out there trying to figure out what it is they want to do and how they're supposed to get all of this stuff done that they want to do. That as long as there's that element of fun still in there and you're enjoying what you're doing, then the hard work is just kind of what comes with it.
Yep.
And
I still love making beer.
Yep.
I don't see myself not loving making beer. So it's a fun process for me. Got my brew house pretty much dialed in, so I'm very familiar with it, and get to experiment and have fun and make some beer.
So we are living a stout life. That's our brand, and we have our vision of what living a stout life is.
don't tell me.
But
It's a secret.
we want to know. Yeah, it is a big secret.
It's not.
But so we always ask everybody. So what is you, Jason at Green Bus? What is your idea of living a stout life?
Being able to do what I want to do and enjoy what in the process. Not having to do it to survive, but being lucky enough to have something that pays the bills and allows creativity and all that and everything. And being allowed to, or being in a place where I want to do this, I don't feel like I have to do this.
I want to say, like, I think in all these interviews that we've been doing, there's so many light bulbs that go off over my head at the end of every interview. And like this one right here is, you're a great reminder to people that just because you work like a typical 9-to-5 job doesn't mean that you have to hate that job, because there's pieces of it that you're totally enjoying, and it gives you the ability to do the other things that you want to do. So I think you're a great example of that. Yeah. That's good.
Well, with that, I think we should all have
We all grab a beer and we have to do a
beer and
cheers.
do a cheers. I'm gonna stick with that.
You're going to stick with that one? You
Yeah.
should do it. Oh, you're going to stick with the big beer?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you. Great to meet you. Thanks for coming to Huntsville.
We have new conversations every week. Be sure to subscribe to Living a Stout Life so you don't miss out. Jason loves his bus. We'd like to know what you love outside of craft beer. Let us know in the comments below or by clicking the link in the description.
Can I keep my dark lager in the shop too?
you cannot keep beer.
I can't keep beer in the
It's not
shop.
about beer.
When my partner Carrie and I started thinking about doing this, we knew we didn't want to open a gigantic manufacturing
Yeah.
facility and become, plant operators, managers, whatever. So, and we didn't want to spend go millions of dollars in debt to outfit a huge production facility. So this is kind of what we settled on from day one.
Well, I think at that point, you have to decide whether you want to be a brewer or you want to be a business owner, right?
Exactly.
Because I'm sure that, I don't remember his name, but the guy that started like Straight to Ale,
Dan Perry,
I doubt he gets to brew a whole lot, right?
he hadn't brewed in years.
Yeah, because he's got a very large business to run.
We give him crap about it all the time.
Yeah.